Exodus.
I just don't think that was sensitive.
Yeah. Put this microphone. Yeah. Well, we got both owls functional today. The one wasn't updating, so it. Sweet.
This they just.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Well, good to see everybody. Good morning. Please come in. Before I know we're live on Facebook, so it's good. But I'll press record in just a minute here. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day of sunshine. It's okay that if I just take the rest of the day off and go. Take tomorrow off too. My Thursday Bible study group gave me the permission. And we'll keep working today. We'll see. We'll get some golf in tomorrow, maybe. Let's see, a number of little housekeeping things. Easter flowers, you can get those, azaleas, getting close to Easter and Holy Week. We'll have a great Palm Sunday worship and great Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, and great Easter service. Choirs are going to be singing, so get some invites out there. Think about somebody that maybe you've invited before. Give them a little heads up. Say, hey, I know it's a few weeks away yet, but gosh, it'd be cool for you to come to Easter with me. And then say, you'll be there at what service? That's the biggest scare for a lot of people, is just coming and they don't know anybody. But just to be able to come with someone, it's a huge thing. So anyway, that's coming up. We've had great Lenten services, the soups, amazing. Last night we had like 9 different soups. It's not really good because I had to try every one. I was playing Hold an Evening Prayer, and I was like, yeah, I think that's been lovely. Yes, Lisa. Spring cleanup next week. So Wednesday afternoon, next week. Saturday morning, we have Lucille Lampy's service at noon, but in the morning, 8 to 11. And then, Sunday after church. And there's all kinds of things. There's tons of stuff to do, not just heavy labor stuff. There's window dusting. Spiff up the trim with a little oil or whatever, or what, yeah. And the pews, so we need lots of helpers. Do they sign up for that?
I'm going to do my home.
There you go. Sign up in the narthex. It's, you don't, it's not online. It's just paper and pencil. So there you go. Audrey.
These are more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like to do.
that would be really great.
He doesn't. That's.
Many hands.
Light work.
There you go. There you go. Lucille, Lampy's service is a week from this Saturday at noon. So, I encourage you to be at that. And then Melly Cameron's service is 2 weeks from this Saturday at 1. They're having the graveside at, 11:30 and then coming here.
Favorite.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. That's correct. We're doing graveside at 11 and service at 12:30. Thank you. There is. Cookies, Julie, call Julie Annabelle. That'd be great if you can call Julie and see what help she might need, okay?
Should we do 4 back next Thursday? 4 tables?
I think we're getting close to
Yeah.
being full up. Gail's out there in exile, but she's probably okay there, but yeah, maybe one more next week. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Oh, Kathy's gonna join, so now she's on. Yeah, oh, you gotta scoot him. Oh, where did you, what? Oh, that's right, the reading program, thank you. And to all of you who do that before Bible study, that's so great, thank you. Another way that this church is serving our community. Let's see, and then some folks asked about my mother-in-law, Laura Gessner, Sandy's mom. And because she was in the hospital, she had fallen and was in the hospital a week ago Tuesday. So it's been about 10 days. She spent 5 days in the hospital. Now she's in Northwoods.
Are there any little kids I could read to?
There might be, Ally. There might be. Yeah. We can talk about that. So Laura is doing better. She's coming around and we got her moved into her new apartment at Krista and her assisted living apartment, and it's all ready for her. So she's anxious to get out of Northwoods, of course. And, you know, Northwoods is sometimes good and sometimes not. And, yeah. Hey, Kathy, we got one for here if you want to join them. Next week, we're gonna put another couple tables so we get everybody around. So anyway, thank you for your prayers for her. She can have visitors. If you want to stop in just to say hi, if you know Laura, you know, that's great. But I know she wants to get out of there as soon as possible, but she's got some strength building to do yet. And so I know she really appreciates your prayers and support. And so does Sandy, and so do all of us. It's been a heavy lift. So with that, any other housekeeping announcements while I eat my last cracker? A couple here. Well, I want to start eating before I hear about all this gross stuff. I want to get my groceries taken care of. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Well, I think we are ready to go. See anybody, you make sure there's nobody online here today. Doesn't appear that there is.
Here today.
Bob is here today and Margot and. No, that's okay, because it works this way to record as well. Okay. All right, well, with that, let's pray, let's get at it. Gracious and loving God, thank you for your word. Let it do its work as we study the hardness of Pharaoh's heart and the determination, your determination to set your people free. Give us your aid and support as we are in your word together in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. We finished with the plague of the frogs and the land stinking. I don't even want to think about how bad that was. But, and this is where we ended, but when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite, he hardened his heart and would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. So the Pharaoh hardens his heart, but we already know God has hardened his heart. And so we have this lovely little dance going on there. But, you know, like, oh, please, I'll get rid of him. I'll let you guys go for a little bit. So see, there's this little bargaining going on. So what I want you to notice is what gets added after each plague.
Another one.
Another plague comes, but also think about what's going on for the Pharaoh and the bargaining and it's really interesting. It sounds like human nature to me, you know. Well, maybe I'll do this if you do that, and you know. Anyway, so there we go. We're at verse 16.
Pharaoh goes back on his word though.
He does go back on his word. He does, yeah. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to Aaron, stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the earth, so that it may become gnats in all the land of Egypt. I mean, one gnat is too many for me. And they did so. Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the earth, and there were gnats on man and beast. All the dust of the earth became gnats in all the land of Egypt. The magicians tried their secret arts to produce gnats, but they could not. So there were gnats on man and beast. Okay, this is new, right? The magicians have been able to match Moses' God's and Moses Aaron's, you know, signs, but not this one. Then the magician said to Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. So now the magicians are like, whoa, we can't even do this. This must be God.
So what was their concept of God? That they're
Yeah,
not talking about the God we know, or
No, and they, let me just see.
Yeah.
Let me just see if this is, yeah, so this is Elohim. It does have the definite article. So, but what we know of Egypt is that they were polytheists. They had different gods. And they had one main god, was it Ra, I believe,
had
the
they
sun
picked up
god.
this idea from Moses?
Did they what?
Did they pick up the idea of the God from Moses?
Good question. Are they like, wow, Moses is talking about one almighty God,
Yeah.
and so this must be, you know, they get a little persuaded here.
Probably in their mind, the Pharaoh is often thinks many gods is stronger than one God.
Yes. That, they would have thought of the Hebrews' God as a powerless little,
Yeah,
you know, because every culture, every civilization had their God and this type of thing. And so they would not have thought much of this God going in. Yeah.
But they're seeing that he's acting on the behalf of Moses, and so they must be maybe they're just saying, well, whoa, this God is.
This God is,
God.
yes,
So in their minds, they're thinking polytheism still, but they're referring to the Hebrews God.
correct, yes. I can't say that they're like, okay, we know there's only one God now, but they are acknowledge, they're like, wow, there's something to this, I guess. Yeah, I think that's, please, Ally. Goshen is, an area in Egypt. So that's a great question. See here,
That's right. In
the land of Goshen.
that where Joseph and family arrived. And, yeah.
I believe so.
And dad, where my people live. And it's probably.
Let's see if this puts, there you go. There's Goshen. Let me get rid of this little. So I don't know if you can see that, Ally, but this is Egypt, and then Goshen is kind of to the, what would that be? The east, east down towards the Red Sea. Yeah, so it's an area in Egypt. Yeah, good, great question.
Thank you.
You bet.
Joseph? Not Abraham, but,
Isaac, no, Joseph,
yeah, Joseph, yes,
Jacob
yes,
and Joseph.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he came to Egypt, the larger family, they were sons of Goshen, where they became great farmers.
yeah, so I think this is the area that they had set, that they were in, so to speak, and going way back. Yeah.
Look at verse 22.
Verse 22.
That helps explain.
All right, well, let's keep going with the, but Pharaoh's heart was hard, so let's just keep going now with the flies. Then the Lord said, did I see a hand go off? Yeah.
Question. We've had multiple plagues for this.
we-
What was the time interval between the plagues?
I don't think it says.
It doesn't say, I know, it's one after another. Between the two,
Yeah.
okay, I'll give you a chance to breathe in. Okay, I get the time, try it again.
Yeah. It doesn't say, but it does say that there was a respite. And that's what made the Pharaoh think, oh, we're okay, maybe it was an accident. So there probably was a little bit of time in between these, but no, you're right, it doesn't tell us 3 days went by
3 days a week.
or a week, yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
It's been happening in the winter time or so, because is it, Passover in the spring?
When Passover is celebrated in the Jewish lunar, it's always connected to the lunar calendar, and it's usually in the spring. So I guess if I know in Leviticus it says in this month of this year, so I suppose that's when this is leading up to, like, right, this time of year. Our March, April type of thing, yeah. If we can pinpoint it, and I'm so bad with calendars and details like this, but if we can pinpoint, I know that like in Leviticus and probably Exodus too, it'll say in this month of this year of the year of this, and this happened. And then when it says when you should celebrate this, it probably puts that. So that's where our Easter calendar in the West is always hooked to the lunar calendar, and Passover is hooked to the lunar calendar. So that's why it's always different. And that's, so that's where we get that. So I think, Audrey, that long story short, I think you're safe to say it would be more in the spring. Yes.
Because the final plague is when the death of the firstborn.
Right.
That's when.
That's Passover.
That's Passover. So all these other plagues work up to it.
Yeah,
So you don't really know how long plagues last.
that's true. How long the plagues lasted, and like you said, how much distance between them, it might have been months and months. I don't know. All right, Jerry's gonna help us out here.
Passover this year is gonna be April 22nd.
And that's why we've got Easter, April 31st. What's that? March. Oh, it's over in Israel.
Yeah. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
They're working on those servants.
Maybe 2 Easters this year.
He's there every day.
Huh. Kathy, were you gonna help us out here?
Talks about time.
Okay.
It says the first 9 plagues may have been a series of miraculous intensifications of.
Yeah. In less than a year, okay?
God's fitting time, but it says if so, the first plague resulted from a flood of time in late summer or March, spread sediment water.
Right. So Kathy, if you
There
could,
you go.
so what Kathy, if you couldn't hear, was saying is that if you look at these plagues as intensifications of natural events, then, you know, you would put the water turning red back in the summer. And so that there's longer periods of time. If you go with that train of thought. Yeah, so, but we don't know. Why don't we know these details?
Because it's not for us.
Moses and God or whoever brings us the Old Testament, they didn't care. They were concerned about something else. Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, hands, yeah, please.
I
Yeah.
just had kind of a funny observation. This is in that altar book,
Oh, right,
and he's a Hebrew scholar. And he says that the plagues narrative is kind of written in a satirical tone, like, you know, the God of Israel against the silly, you know,
Yeah.
Keystone Cop kind of.
I got you, like the Pharaoh's kind of the blundering, you know, like.
Yeah, and before in the narrative, it's talked about God's mighty hand and God's arm is gonna do this, I'm gonna do this by my hand. And the Egyptians are saying, well, it was God's finger.
It was God's finger.
His finger.
So all he needed was his tiny little finger.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So one thing about
Please,
the
Paul.
potentially is, if that were the case, perhaps there would be recurrence from year to year to year, and then it would have been no big deal. But apparently, it was a big enough deal to get their attention,
Yes,
that it wasn't something, oh, we saw this last year,
right.
you know?
That's right. And that's like the word intensification. So even if you go with this, something like this happens, nothing to this magnitude. Yeah. And I personally just, I guess I don't need the explanation for me personally, that it was, you know, oh, this was like the thing on Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, this was sulfur from this volcano or a meteor. I don't care.
Yeah, and the firstborn son didn't die every year.
Right, this is true. Now that one is different, absolutely. Yeah,
God works through nature.
well, this is the question. Does he work through nature? Of course he does, but were these just natural events that happened, or were they hugely intensifications of natural events?
Well, you could certainly think that gnats would follow rotten, fleshy frogs.
Yes, and I'm sure lots of people have made good explanations of this is why this happened and tried to explain it. But again, you know, I think it's almost kind of a trap door.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Moses says this is gonna happen, then it does.
yes.
It does not have to happen, then Moses comes, oh, I caused that. Moses calls it up before.
And that's a great point too, that this happens after Moses says, and right after. So it's not like he could get lucky once, but
Yeah.
maybe not, you know, however many times. Okay, good. But see, we are 20th, first century people, and we want explanations, you know? The folks hearing this text, that was not their question. Their question is, who is God? And what does God want? And who are we? These were their questions, I think. And maybe some others similar to those. Okay, let's keep going. We got,
The Israelite.
then the Lord said to Moses, rise up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh as he goes out to the water and say to him. So in other words, you meet him on his way to, thus says the Lord. I still marvel that he had that access, but anyway, he did. So let my people go, that they may serve me. Now, is this new? That they may serve me.
Mine says worship.
Worship me. It is, can be worship or serve. If you were to go back to Exodus, if you go back to Exodus 1, see, Exodus 1. Oh, I know what I can do. I think I did it this way. Yeah. Exodus 1:13. So if you go to 1:13, what we're told, so they ruthlessly made the people of Israel work as slaves, same word, serve. So it's the same Hebrew word there, but in the context, it's translated a little different. But I want you to know it's the same word. So they made the people serve Pharaoh. Now, if we go back here, let my people go so that they may serve me, not you. That really jumped out at me. So now it is not just so that they can have a nice little worship service, but that the true God can be the one that they serve and not you. So now we get a competing fight for who is God. Now, I have to stop here, and have I thought far enough ahead? Let's see, Book of Concord. Let's do that. Let's go down here to the 10 commandments. Let's see. Creed. Apology. Where's the large catechism? Here it is. Introduction to Large Catechism. We should just read this entire thing, truthfully. But let me get down to the first part of it. Wait. Large Catechism. Introduction to Large Catechism, Martin Luther Preface. Oh, here we go. The 10 Commandments. Oh.
Angels.
Are there angels? Somebody's phone is ring-a-linging. Okay, just read to you the 10 Commandments here and then the explanation of the 10 Commandments. Oh my goodness, now this must be the small catechism, large catechism. Why is this making this difficult for me?
Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God.
That's right. First commandment, here you go. So, perfect, Allie, that's exactly right. So, we've got, remember how I've been talking to you about what is Exodus really about? Is it about liberating and enslaved people? Well, absolutely, it's about that. But is there something more? And I'm not a fan. I liked Bob Dylan for just a little chapter in his life. But he had a great song called You Gotta Serve What?
Somebody.
You gotta serve somebody. He was right, and unfortunately, he went on to serve some other God. But he was right about that. And so what is the fight about right now in this book of Exodus? It's about who are you going to serve and who you must serve or who you get to serve. And the Israelites, the Hebrews, were forced to serve Pharaoh. And God's going to bring them out of the land so that they can serve God. You got to serve somebody. Look what Luther says about the first commandment. That you shall regard me as your God. What does this mean? And how is it to be understood? What is it to have a God? What is God? Answer, God is that to which we look for all good and in which we find refuge in every time of need. To have a God is nothing else than to trust and believe him with our whole heart. As I have often said, trust and faith of the heart alone make both God and idol. If your faith and trust are right, then your God is the true God. On the other hand, if your trust is false and wrong, then you have not the true God, for these two belong together, faith and God. That to which your heart clings and entrusts itself, thought I had that double mark, I say, really is your God. So to serve a God is to trust that God. And that's the issue. Who are you going to trust? And so maybe, well, I won't even say maybe, I'll say what I think. I'll say that's really what Exodus is about. God doing something, breaking the chains of the Pharaoh so that they can trust God and serve God. That's what the book is about, in my opinion. Others will disagree with me or say it's, yeah, that's fine, but it's more than that. The purpose of the commandment, therefore, is to require true faith and confidence of the heart, and these fly straight to the one true God and cling to him alone. Luther goes on. It's just fabulous stuff. Audrey? Yeah.
Why did God just save the Israelites? Why didn't he save everybody? Let everybody be his children?
Why did he pick a particular group?
Yes. And leave everybody else.
I'll ask what I
If he picked everybody, then the world might be a little bit more peaceful.
Or would it?
No, I wouldn't.
So the way I think about it is God, in as much as we can ever understand, like Paul says, I love when he's wondering about why his Jewish brothers and sisters don't believe in Christ, or most of them. And he says, oh, the ways of God, we're the clay, God's the potter. We can't understand, even though he spends 3 chapters trying to make sense of it. But I would say God created Adam and Eve, and he was for everybody, right? But everybody were violent and horrible, and says God says, I'm going to start over. And he wipes everybody out. But there was only one that he found, faithful. And so the ark, he makes the ark, he does the flood. But after the flood, he says what? I'm never going to do it that way again. I'm not going to destroy all of humanity to save humanity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, and then right after that, what happens? He chooses Abraham. I'm going to choose one family, and through that family, and this is where I want you to get, all nations will be blessed. So God chose that family not to exclude the world, but to include them and bless them. Now, of course, because of sin, other people don't like that. And then we, of course, believe that Jesus is the culmination of that choosing of Abraham. Jesus is his offspring, not offspring. So Audrey, I guess the only thing I would say is we don't know for sure, but we know that he chose this particular people to heal the world and to be a blessing to everyone.
Exclude people from following.
That's correct. And we know that even before Jesus, there were Gentiles who had become Jewish. Yeah. In the book of Acts, they're called God-fearers. And yeah, please.
So an extension of, part of the choosing of the people through which Christ would come. John 3:16, for God so loved the world So he chose the world to save.
Yes,
So they can all come to him
yep,
freely.
yeah, absolutely. Even God's choosing of a special people was for the purpose of blessing all nations, absolutely. And we believe Jesus is the culmination of that. Look what he did. He went out in the wilderness for how many days? And what does that coincide to? 40 years of wandering. Because Jesus did what Israel couldn't and didn't. So, now Paul says very clearly, this goes back to what I was referring to a minute ago, when it comes to his special people, the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable. So they're still the apple of his eye, but their no has meant yes for the Gentiles, and Paul hopes that they'll all say yes someday, and we can't give up on that. But that's the people. In my own view, the nation of Israel as a nation, like King David or King Solomon, that's been fulfilled for me. I don't look for that, but that puts me in, there's a lot of Christians who differ on that. So, let's see, did I see a hand, Sharon? Yeah.
Well, and he doesn't start with the top power people.
Correct.
I'm thinking of Jesus in the temptation. He starts with the humble person.
Yes.
And that we can relate to an ordinary person. Whereas suddenly he said, oh, well, we've got Pharaoh here. I'm going to clean up Pharaoh and now we'll go from there. And we'll all see what power can do.
Yes.
And power goes wrong every time.
Right. Jesus says, have this mind amongst yourself that Christ had in him, or don't lord over your power, but that's what human beings do. So I couldn't help but stop and go back and look at Luther's thing on the first commandment. And when we get to this Hebrew word, serve, that just leapt out at me, that there's a difference between, that this is all about is helping God's people have the one true God and not serve Pharaoh, but serve God. And there's been plenty, this is not just a spiritual matter. There have been many Christians who have lived in situations where they were not able to serve God. You look at Poland on the Eastern Bloc. The church thrived, but it was underground. Grandmothers and mothers taught the kids the faith, and so that that happens in sometimes overt ways and sometimes covert ways. In our land, it's not being done overtly, like you can't go to church, but you've got everything under the sun to draw you away from that. I guess I've got a sabbatical coming up if I can get it figured out but I'm going to focus on this book called De-Churching of America, and the way it's happening is through affluence and through every possible other idol that could be ever thrown our way. That's what's happening. So I'm really interested to see all the data and all the stuff, because I think it's very germane to our Northwest context, which someone just shared an article, I think it was Joyce, that Seattle is the most unchurched area. Now, I don't know if that's true here. There was another study that said it was even worse over here. But we're the most unchurched. Seattle is the most, they've taken over. They win on the nuns, N-O-N-E. Yes, please, Stephanie.
I saw a cartoon the other day and I guess it was supposed to be funny. It was about Seattle. I worship the mountains. I worship the coffee.
I worship the mountains and I worship the coffee. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Stephanie. I mean, whether it's coffee, mountains, sports, victory, this, that, and substances.
Yep.
That's the way this battle is being fought today. My social media, my friends, what they think about me, what they say about it's just, we have every idol coming after us. And that's sometimes no surprise that the church always flourishes under oppression and persecution. Okay, enough of that.
Kathy.
Oh, Kathy, sorry.
In your version, in 7:16, and then again for the plague of blood, and then again in 8. What, 8, when you say it, is it a different word?
I'm sorry, which,
So in 7:16,
yes,
when it's telling Moses what to say, is it a different word?
let me see. That let my people go that they may serve me in the wilderness.
It's the same word?
Toil, work, serve. Yes, it's the same one. So no, that isn't new. You're correct. Yeah, that's a repeat. It just finally hit me. Worship. So it's worship or serve. It can mean both ways. So the worship word makes it more like which God are you going to serve type of thing. Yeah. And I believe the Greek for the Septuagint is liturgia, which sounds like liturgy, but there's different words for serve in Greek, and that's the one they use. So yeah, great. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, so this isn't the first time. That's really helpful. Yeah, it's first time, like you say, it hit me. Okay, 21, or else. If you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants and your people and into your houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. But on that day, I will set apart the land of Goshen, there you go, Allie, where my people dwell, so that no swarms or flies shall be there, that you may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. So this helps us with that whole natural thing. Even if it was a natural thing, there's no way that a natural occurrence could only be, that there'd be a border around where the flies.
This would be a real opportunity for those musicians to go to Goshen and try to produce flies.
That's true. Okay, that's right, but I think they've given up at this point. Thus I will put a division between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign shall happen. And the Lord did so. There came great swarms of flies into the house of Pharaoh and into his servants' houses. Throughout all the land of Egypt, the land was ruined by swarms of flies.
It sounds like some.
Yeah, some of you have experienced some things like this. I mean, you think the Dust Bowl and the horrible. They happen every so many years. Yep. 19 years. Yeah. Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, go sacrifice to your God within the land. All right, now notice, is Pharaoh ready to do what God said? No. He's still in control. Again, not to be overly relating this to our life, but as human beings, we want a little bit of control. We want as much as we can. But Moses said it would not be right to do so, for the offerings that we shall sacrifice to the Lord our God is an abomination to the Egyptians. If we sacrifice offerings abominable to the Egyptians before their eyes, will they not stone us? So they're going to revolt against us if we do that. We must go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God, as he tells us. So, Pharaoh is like, no, I'm not going to let you go. Just go make sacrifices to your God. So this stops. And then
But he doesn't keep his word.
You're right. He is playing games here, isn't he? I think it's interesting that Moses said it would not be right. And then he says, we must go 3 days. Yeah, okay. So now Moses is playing Pharaoh's game a little bit. I know, it's a good question.
The only one there.
So Pharaoh said, I will let you go to sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness, only you must not go very far away. This is something I hadn't, until I've been rereading it this time around. I hadn't really remembered how the Pharaoh does this little, I'll give an inch, this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'll let you do this much.
For me, he says, pray for me.
Pray for me. Plead for me or pray for me.
Pharaoh.
Then Moses said, behold, I'm going out from you and I will plead. And he says, he doesn't say, that's a joke. I'm not going to pray for you. He says, okay, I'll go and I will plead. I don't know if this word in Hebrew is supplicate, plead, pray. That's certainly a proper English, plead or pray with the Lord, that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants and from his people tomorrow. Again, this word makes it more than just a, surprise natural event. Only let not Pharaoh cheat again by not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. So Moses is saying, but I got your number, Pharaoh. I know what you're doing. We're not playing games anymore. You better follow through and not cheat. That cheater. Allie, you're right. Why would he,
Why trust the Pharaoh?
Exactly. And I don't think he does now. I think he knows. Moses knows he's already been told that how this is going to. So Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord did as Moses asked. So God goes with it. It's another example of how God is working in with and under and through human beings and brokenness and stuff. God gets right down in there in the muck, and remove the swarms of the flies of the Pharaoh from his servants and from the people. Not one remained. Now that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah, they replenish them after they did this.
Yeah.
Years.
Right. How does he?
They replenish all the livestock?
Yeah. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also and did not let the people go. So the Pharaoh is playing games with the Lord.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not a good idea to do that.
What were they sacrificing then?
Good question, because we don't.
We used to sacrifice lamb and, lambs and so forth.
Well, don't you think that Moses was exaggerating the Pharaoh, thinking that if see what we sacrifice, your people think it's a terrible abomination.
Yeah.
Moses was exaggerating.
I don't know. They did, but they did it to their gods versus the Hebrew gods. And for the Hebrews to be allowed to sacrifice and worship, maybe that was what was been so offensive. The Pharaoh seems to think he's right. He goes with it, but yeah, Doug, I don't know.
I just thought he was using it as an excuse. Oh, you don't want us to do it here.
Right.
I need to go at least 3 days out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see what we do.
Yeah.
I have the note here.
Please, Kim.
It says the most likely meaning is that the Hebrews will sacrifice cattle or other beasts considered taboo by the Egyptians and so infuriate them. There's some evidence that Egypt in the late Bronze Age was in fact quite tolerant about different kinds of sacrifice. The Hebrew writer could well be reflecting the awareness of a later age when Egyptians' attitudes may have shifted. By the time of Herodotus, the Egyptians had developed a reputation for rigid sacrificial restrictions.
Okay. So it might, maybe to use a modern example, in India, what is the most sacred? The cow. So, that there might have been something that it might have been the kind of animal or the kind of sacrifice, even though at the time that the Hebrews were there, it wasn't so much maybe an issue, but maybe later it becomes more restrictive. Right. Okay. I love your notes. This is good. All right. Speaking of livestock, then the Lord said to Moses, go into the Pharaoh and say to him, thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, let my people go that they may serve me. So we're getting that they may worship me, serve me. That's what this is about. For if you refuse to let them go and still hold them, behold, the hand of the Lord will fall on a very severe plague upon your livestock that are in the field, the horses, the donkeys, the camels, the herds, and the flocks. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that nothing of all that belongs to the people of Israel shall die. And the Lord set a time, saying, tomorrow the Lord will do this thing in the land. And the next day the Lord did this thing, and all the livestock of the Egyptians died. But not one of the livestock of the people of Israel died. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, not one of the livestock of Israel is dead. Does that make sense? I guess.
The Lord sent men to investigate.
Yes. Yeah, that's a better translation. But the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. What? Come on. Yeah, is Pharaoh like, does he have a storehouse of meat stuck away somewhere?
They'll begin to become into.
Yes. Joyce?
I don't understand this cat and mouse game with Pharaoh. Because if God is God, why didn't he just let the people go? Instead of all these plagues, it doesn't make sense to me.
Help Joyce out.
Back and forth and back and forth. And I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think Pharaoh or the Hebrews, Israel's faith was strengthened through all of this.
Well,
That was
I'm
one
wondering,
positive thing that God brings out in this.
Okay, so one answer. Go ahead,
and
Joyce.
I'm wondering if it's God wants to change Pharaoh's heart
Well,
into becoming more of a believer by doing all of this.
but you know, in Romans, it talks about God hardening the Israelites' hearts in order for the Gentiles to come.
A hardening has come upon them.
God's got a purpose there.
Yes.
Well,
I think God does have a
I'm sort
purpose.
of tired of waiting.
You think with the Israel as a
The people of the Hebrews. I like what Joyce suggested, though, that this is a display. We as human beings need to see stuff, to hear stuff in order to believe. And if God just did it, maybe it wouldn't have the impact that this cat game had. Bob?
If he's trying to make it difficult and prove to the Israelites, hey, you are now mine. If I give it to you too easy, you're not gonna appreciate it. You gotta work for it, earn for it, and for showing them. But this is really the beginning of the Jewish culture. You know, this is the Exodus, and the Passover is really the high point for the start of the Jewish.
This
If
is
it came too easy, you know, like, you know, you raise your kid, well, you have whatever you want. To me, you appreciate it, you don't give value to it. Exodus was a beach, was enough, is a key point for the Jewish religion from then on in.
their biggest festival to this day is Passover and Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. Bill?
It could be that,
We're still helping Joyce out right now.
could be that these plagues so far didn't affect Pharaoh. The point that he was ready to let him go, because that might have been something that could have transferred over to his people to get rid of Pharaoh also. And so he just kept not letting him go because he didn't want to lose his power that he thought might have happened if he had listened to it. It had to go to the point where the plague was so bad that it affected him and all the people enough, they said, okay, that's enough.
Okay.
Go.
So it took this
Yeah.
long to get him,
Yeah.
so that's why the cat and mouse game. Please, Paul,
Oh, I was just gonna say that I think that, this back and forth between, Moses and Pharaoh is, in the minds of the Israelites, is shaping Moses into their leader. And because he has the direct ear from God and he's speaking to God and God answers his prayer. So he is, because Moses, despite the fact that Israel is a cantankerous people who rebel often, the thing that remains is over the centuries is the veneration of Moses as this leader who talked to God and led the people out.
right?
So there's some of that going on too.
Yes.
Because if Moses came to Pharaoh and just said, well, let my people go, and he says, all right, see you later. They would have said, well, Pharaoh is just an agreeable sort, so.
Yeah, and that there was no big act of God
Yeah.
that goes back to a little bit, I think where Bob was going, is this is the foundational event for Jewish people, for the Hebrews, for the Israelites. So that the cat and mouse game is a part of the whole God proving God's self to the people and to Moses and shaping Moses as a leader. I think about the same way with Jesus. Why didn't Jesus just come down and here I am, believe in me, well, it doesn't work. It didn't, look at how many people saw his miracles and they didn't believe in him, So all of that led up to the cross, and the resurrection. So yeah, the ways of God, they're higher than our ways. Yeah, Kim?
Well, I think what you were saying before about, talking about Audra's question about what, why the Israelites and not everybody else. I think it's a similar question. And in the language that's used, like especially these last two plagues, when they go to Goshen and when they get separated from the place where the flies are going to be, the words used mean redemption and setting apart. And so I think that it's this formation of this people is the key.
Yeah.
The key thing.
Yeah.
And so these plagues are just, it's formation.
Yeah. Right.
And with the goal of redemption and setting apart, and which is the theme throughout the rest of the story.
I think that's really helpful response to a really great question that Joyce asked and Audrey too. Please, Ross.
God decided there was gonna be a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, it was,
When he hardened Pharaoh's heart.
When he hardened Pharaoh's heart, he decided that.
Yeah.
And so he decided it for formation, for Moses, for the people, for all of that. And, maybe the other part of it is, again, go back to the flood. I will never do it this way again. I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to get down and do it human stuff. And human beings need stuff like that. We're fickle. We need God to get down there and play a cat and mouse game. They get God to kind of work in this way. It's almost incarnational, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, and then we'll go to.
I'm just gonna say that 1 Corinthians 1:26 and following.
Yes.
Talks about that God chose the foolish things of the world in order to put to shame the wise, the weak things, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
To take things that were not to make things that are.
Right.
He does that, and at the end it talks about and through this process he made Christ the wisdom of God, the righteousness, sanctification, redemption.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole set, and if God didn't do it this way, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Very helpful. Doug, or was it Doug? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that in verses 16, here, chapter 9, don't think answer Joyce's question. Is it says, for by now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you and your people a plague that would have wiped you off the earth. But I have raised you up for this very purpose, that I might show you my power, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth.
All right, so the text was anticipating Joyce's question. So let's read, let's keep going. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, that's perfect. Then the Lord said to Moses, rise up early in the morning and present yourself before Pharaoh and say to him, thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, let my people go that they may serve me. I want them to worship me. I want to be their God, in other words. For this time I will send all my plagues on you yourself and on your servants and your people, so that you may know that there is none like me in all the earth. So the cat and mouse game is really to show who God is, and that he is the ultimate God, the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, etc. For by now I could have put out of my hand and struck you and your people with pestilence, and you would have been cut off from the earth. But for this purpose I raised you up to show my power. So in essence, he's saying, I'm hardening your heart. You're not some independent actor. I'm in charge here, and I'm doing this so that my name be proclaimed in all the earth. And you know, that really did happen. When, if we pause for a minute, I like, there's lots of different ways to look at the conquest that will come after the people wander for 40 years in the wilderness. But you look at the numbers that are sometimes mentioned of how many people were there. And John Bright, a famous Old Testament scholar who wrote a book called The History of Israel, and anyway, it's very helpful. It's a book. He says that the conquest of the land was just as much just as much as an internal revolt as an external invasion, because the system of the Canaanites was a feudal, in essence, slavery system. And just think about what these slaves in the land of Canaan who would think about this people out there in the wilderness whose God wiped out the Egyptians and freed them from slavery. And then all of a sudden they join and they go, we want to serve that God. Because look, what he's going to do is going to be made known to all the earth. And I think that happened. That's why the people were afraid of the Israelites. So you're still exalting yourself against my people, and I will not. You are still exalting yourself against my people and will not let them go. Behold, about this time tomorrow, I will cause very heavy hail to fall, such as never has been in Egypt from the day it was founded until now. Now, therefore, get your livestock and all that you have in the field in safe shelter. For every man and beast that is in the field and is not brought home will die, and when the hail falls on them. Then whoever feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh hurried his slaves and his livestock into houses. But whoever did not pay attention to the word of the Lord left his slaves and his livestock in the field.
Oh, I didn't think he had any livestock left.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't mean for us to skip over the plague of boils, but you know,
what's that?
I didn't mean for us to skip over the plague of boils.
Oh, did we skip the boils? Shoot. Do we need to go back? We should read the boils. Let's just get them all out. We're going to back up. We're going to hold that question. You didn't think there were any livestock left. Evidently there were. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, take handfuls of soot from the kiln and let Moses throw them in the air in the sight of Pharaoh, and it shall become fine dust over all the land of Egypt and become boils, breaking out in sores of man and beast throughout all the land of Egypt. What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Some of you who have been in healthcare, you definitely know it's So they took soot from the kiln and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses threw it in the air, and it became boils breaking out in sores on man and beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boils came up on the magicians and upon the Egyptians. But the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not listen to them as the Lord had spoken to Moses. So again, we get that, another way of answering, Joyce's excellent question. The Lord did it because he's going to show his glory. So we read that. Excellent. We had some boils before we got the hail coming, and but we do have a little difference here, don't we?
Yeah.
What's different with the hail?
It struck the human beings. I mean, what the boil struck the people themselves, they were affected versus nature.
Okay, it's killing them. The hail is gonna kill beast and slave servants who are out in the field. That's a big hailstorm. Now, but what is different? There's something else that's different.
The Egyptians saved their animals from the hail.
The Egyptians who trusted what Moses said, who feared, love, and trust, they're like, oh, they now have a chance to listen. The Pharaoh, before it's just whatever the Pharaoh does, but now they have a chance to move to safety and to listen. That's new. They didn't have any other options before. So that's kind of interesting. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven so that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, on man and beast, and every plant of the field in the land of Egypt. So this is going to destroy their food. Then Moses stretched out his staff toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and fire ran down on earth. And the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. There was hail and fire flashing continually in the midst of the hail. Very heavy hail, such as had never been seen in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. That's quite a thunderstorm. The hail struck down everything that was in the field in all the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and hail struck down every plant of the field and broke every tree in the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where the people of Israel were, was there no hail.
Convergence.
A convergence zone. Microclimate.
That's not civic.
Okay, well, is this gonna do it? Then Pharaoh sent and called Moses and Aaron and said to them, this time I have sinned. The Lord is in the right, and I and my people are in the wrong. The Pharaoh says, I was wrong.
Only this time though, not all those other times.
None of the other times. So we have something's happening for the Pharaoh, or is it? Or is he still playing games?
He's still right.
Still playing games.
Not till God takes his son, but does he get over this message?
Or we know where this is going, don't we? But he says he's sorry. I've sinned. The Lord is in the right, and my people are wrong. So just because somebody says they're sorry doesn't mean they're sorry. Plead with the Lord, for there has been enough of God's thunder and hail. I will let you go, and you shall stay no longer. All right, so Moses now, yeah, but does he really? I don't think so, Alan. Or maybe he does mean it, but then he changes his mind. Maybe in this moment,
Well, he's getting hammered.
he's getting hammered. He doesn't say just go out for a little while. He says, I'll let you go and you shall stay no longer. Moses said to him, as soon as I have gone out of the city, I will stretch out my hands to the Lord. The thunder will cease and there will be no more hail, so that you may know that the earth is the Lord's. So now, why is this being done? So not only that he'll know who is God and who's not God, and that this people is his chosen people, but that all the earth belongs to the Lord.
How's Moses getting out of the city without being hailed?
I know, I thought about that too, Ross, but I didn't want to bring it up. So, Karen,
This is beginning to kind of dawn on me how, Pharaoh's resistance, think about people who are entrenched in unbelief. And
yes,
what it takes everything in the world, and things come at them all the time. And people want to tell them the gospel and the resistance is built into.
yeah, I think that's a really helpful point, Sharon. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna find out. I think that it is a sad thing. And I say this because I know I'm a human just like everybody. And when I get my toes stepped on, I can get in that righteous indignation. And it's hard to have that turned around. We do harden our hearts, don't we? And a lot of people, maybe it's because they've been injured in the church. Somebody was a hypocrite, or the pastor didn't do what the pastor was supposed to do, or, or I don't know, whatever it might be. You wouldn't believe how sometimes people never show up in church for what would seem to be the smallest things. I mean, I don't know, I won't mention who it was who said it a while back, but I was like blown away, like, some people aren't coming because we got a new organ. Really? I mean, I'm sorry, that's a horrible thing, and it was because we spent that money, I guess, but again, it wasn't budgeted money, it was money that was sitting in the, but people don't get that, and so they're sometimes looking for something to harden, to justify their this. And of course, because if the church is, and the faith, going back to the first commandment, if I can justify having another God, I'm gonna do it. And what do they look to today? Science. Their brain, oh goody, I don't have to believe in God anymore because of the dinosaurs, or I don't know, or the fact that there's millions of galaxies out there. We're looking for a reason to not have the true God be the true God, and if we don't have the true God, then who gets to be God? We do. Yeah, please.
Well, science comes into it with physics, what it takes to start a locomotive down the tracks.
Yeah.
So we're always fighting the inertia.
Yeah.
And the Israelites had that inertia built into them over the 400 years. They'd settled in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's going to take a lot.
It's going to take a lot.
Like.
Yeah. Excellent point. Excellent point. And, there are a lot of apologists out there for the Christian faith that say, look, science can't answer the certain questions, meaning, morality, and I forget the other. But, people like Richard Dawkins is the famous atheist who's written The God Delusion. And a lot of people, where they engage with him is like, you believe in right and wrong, and he does. You have to admit that that's completely relative. There is no foundation for right and wrong. If there's no transcendent referent, then it's really whatever we decide is right and wrong. So what if we decide this is right or that's right? And he doesn't want to give into that, but it's true. Science, if we don't have a transcendent referent, then we get to decide. And people say, oh, but no, that's common sense. No, it's not. What's common sense is the survival of the fittest. Who cares who you trample on to get there? So, but a lot of these people who are really good people, they're atheists, but and I'm like, where did your morality come from? Where did that, you have a sense of that, so yeah, but I think you make a great point that we harden our hearts and it's hard to get them to soften up. Yeah. And that's where we pray the Holy Spirit will get through. I will tell you, this will end here today. With this, I usually do this when I'm talking about the word and law and gospel. And I think what softens people's hearts is the gospel. And the good news of what, like God so loved the world, he gave his only, when the people get what the act. And so I usually, when I talk about law and gospel and how the gospel comes into our lives, breaks into our lives, I tell this Valentine, you guys who've been through my foundations class know what I'm going to say at this point, but there's a two frame cartoon on Valentine's Day many years ago. And the first frame was a guy in a room, you know, like this, you know, and he's in a room, but it's all boarded up. The windows are boarded up, the doors are, and he's just locked himself in there. It's like, the next frame is he's still locked in the same room, but he's looking down at the bottom of the door where little Valentine has been pushed through. That's what we need, because we get hard. God keeps coming at us, and he's still coming at the people of Israel a little bit more than about. I guess we're out of time. So where did we finish? This time, and so we finished right here. So we'll pick up at 27 next week with this seeming repentance of the Pharaoh. And I don't think he's going to stick with it, but we're going to see the heart of the Pharaoh was hard. And he still didn't let the people go. All right, we'll get rid of the play. We'll be done. I think we're going to get to the big one. We got darkness and other things, and then the final plague. So we might get there. Okay. All right. Go in peace, serve the Lord. Thanks.